tonight we have, I'd like to turn over to the Assistant Superintendent, Maura Palmer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kearney. It's my pleasure to introduce the Haigh School community that's here with us tonight. I think based on the enthusiasm we heard during the Pledge of Allegiance, we're in for a treat. They are going to present to us tonight on their bi-monthly Haigh Heroes Awards Assembly, which are student-led, and specifically they're going to highlight the grade 4 program that took place this past fall. So, without further ado, I introduce the Haigh School team.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity. Considering the fact that this is the last time the Haigh School will be presenting before you, I'm sure some would have thought that our presentation might be solemn. But that's not the Haigh way. Our last year as a school community has been filled with many special events and memorable moments. And one of those memorable moments was the Haigh Heroes Assembly our 4th grade students prepared and presented back in December. Throughout the school year, our Haigh Heroes Assemblies are held on a bi-monthly schedule. Each of these assemblies is assigned to a grade level to plan, create, and present. The assemblies recognize students who have demonstrated outstanding accomplishments in the character trait being highlighted. The morning of the assembly, classroom teachers pass out Haigh Hero certificates and ribbons. The ribbons are proudly worn by students throughout the day. Staff members and fellow classmates are able to acknowledge the accomplishment with high fives and words of congratulations to the students. For you this evening, our grade 4 students, along with their teachers, Ms. Mulligan and Ms. Moser, will be reenacting the Haigh Heroes Assembly they produced earlier this year. You will notice that our students run the entire assembly and do a very good job at it. And before I turn the microphone over to our 4th graders, we will need some volunteers tonight to act as our Haigh Hero Awards recipients. Okay, students, we're all set. Superintendent Delahanty, Assistant Superintendent Mrs. Palmer, and the entire school board have offered to help you out.
It's like the military.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you Bella Calizzi and Casey Sawyer, your MCs for tonight's presentation.
Welcome to our Haigh Heroes Assembly. The theme for this assembly is Courage and Diversity. Students who receive these awards today have shown the following criteria for the months of November and December.
Accept individual differences and beliefs with understanding. Judge others only on how they treat people, not the clothes they wear, the way they look, or the color of their skin. Always tell the truth, even if it is hard to do so. Be fair. Play by the rules and be a good sport. Do not cheat or steal.
In honor of our Haigh Heroes theme, the 4th graders have written stories about courage and diversity.
Ashley, Delaney, and Carly.
Courageous soldiers. Soldiers are courageous because they risk their lives for people they don't even know. They are also courageous because they do great things for other people, like going to war so we still have freedom for our country.
Many people think our soldiers are just other men or women who go into war, but we think they are courageous. They are helpful because they help others.
For example, they help people who are hurt or wounded. They have lots of courage for going out and doing dangerous fighting. They need to fight for our country to keep this country strong. Their courage seems never ending.
Hannah, Emma, Kelsey, and Son.
Diversity. At an old school named Haigh, there was a boy named Luke. Luke never judged anybody, no matter if they were black or white. He also never judged anyone if they talked different or anything. Then one day, Luke saw John, his friend, who was white. Luke sprinted over there and found out John was bullying a girl named Sally, who was different.
Luke heard John say, "Ha ha, you weird, you talk weird, and you spit too. I can't stand being around you." Then Luke exclaimed, "Hey, stop judging Sally. You should have a sense of diversity. It doesn't matter if she looks different. What really matters is what's inside."
Well, she is nice and sweet, but she talks weird, and John got cut off by Luke. You said Sally is nice and sweet, and then you went on about how Sally looks. But it doesn't matter, right? Exclaimed Luke, finally making a point. You're right, Sally. I'm sorry for judging you by the way you look and talk. Do you want to start over? Asked John. Yes, we can start over, exclaimed Sally. So John, Luke, and Sally were best friends from then on.
Benny, Ashley, and Chloe.
The new school year. Sam is starting a new school. He is from Egypt and afraid no one will like him. He's a really nice boy, and not having enough money to bring his dad to the USA did not help the situation. He was going to a small school named Jeremiah J. Windley Elk Elementary.
Unfortunately, his English was not very good. Finally, the first day of school came, and Sam felt butterflies in his stomach. Sam sighed. As he stepped on the school bus, it became silent. Sam sat next to a girl named Rose. Rose did not care what Sam looked like. She just wanted a new best friend.
Billy, on the other hand, had enough friends. Kids he has bullied. Billy is a tall, big, mean teen with a pimple-covered face. They finally arrived at school, and the teacher was as sweet as pie to all the kids. The teacher was a nice young lady with brown hair and green eyes, and always wore a neon pink dress with purple shoes and a rose. Everyone stopped and stared at Sam as he entered the room.
The roommate was, oh no, Billy the bully. His brother Justin was his sidekick and laughed when Sam said hi, but Sam ignored him. Every time Justin tried to hurt Sam's feelings, he killed him with kindness. At the end of the day, Justin went over to Sam and said he was sorry for what he did to him. It turns out Justin just wanted a friend, so Sam and Justin are best friends now.
Thank you. Now we would like to introduce you to the Haigh Heroes for Courage and Diversity.
Please raise your hand when your name is called. Dr. Michael Delahanty.
Wonderful, thank you. Diversity and courage.
Mrs. Maura Palmer. Mrs. Patricia Corbett. Mr. Michael Carney, Jr. Mr. Peter Morgan. Mr. Bernard Campbell.
Let's have a big round of applause for our Haigh heroes.
The fourth grade has prepared a song for you with a very special message. Please feel free to join in and sing along with us.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. You know you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you. I know you're somewhere out there. Oh, yeah, sorry. Somewhere far away.
Thank you very much for taking part in our Haigh Hero Assembly. We hope that you remember to look for courage and diversity in your daily lives. Have a great evening, everyone.
And just before we all head out for the evening, we just want to extend a special thank you to Miss Mulligan, who will be retiring at the end of this year. Thank you for being a very special part of what makes Haigh School so special.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Saying, any questions from the board?
I'll make a comment.
Go ahead.
So, I don't have any questions, just to go, this is the first time I ever teared up for a presentation, but that's because the song, I think it was my new favorite song, and I'll download it tonight. I'd like to thank you. I was at a conference today with a bunch of educators, and I noticed a couple of people were speaking in front of the crowd, and they seemed a little nervous when they were talking, and I was noting, oh, that's interesting. Someone who speaks all the time is a little nervous, and then I was watching all of you come up and speak, and you blew me away. I mean, you were wonderful, well-rehearsed, practiced, you knew exactly what you were doing, you had a lot of confidence, and that is very impressive to me, so I thank you for that. And I think what you said was very meaningful too, so not only was it delivered well, but you had a really good message, so. And I thank you for the picture. I just looked at it. It's beautiful. Thank you.
A question, but it's really directed towards the superintendent. Will we be sending a video of this to the Woodbury and Salem High chorus and theater directors so they can start their recruiting efforts now?
Absolutely, we'll do that. Absolutely.
Well, before I turn it over to the superintendent, I too would just like to thank the children, did an unbelievable job. Thank you very much. You made the school district proud, you made the Haigh School proud, and you should be very proud of yourself, because it is difficult to stand up in front of strangers, in front of a TV, and bare your soul, and you guys all did an awesome job. I too would like to thank you for the Haigh Hero Award and for the picture. I'm going to appreciate that, and just a great job again. And thank you to the staff, and thank you for the parents that came out tonight. Superintendent?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. First, I want to congratulate Ms. Mulligan on her retirement, for being here and wrapping up this year's presentations on student achievement, and to the entire Haigh community. I know there's some bittersweet feelings about being the final presentation of this year and also the final year for Haigh School, so it's certainly strong emotions that are part of this presentation. And I'm grateful that you took the time to be here, and as Mrs. Corbett said, you students were so incredibly poised and uninhibited. I think if you can maintain that disposition and attitude, you will go far in life. There's a line in your song that says, something, something, you'll know what we're made of. Well, I think everybody that was watching tonight knows what you're made of, and it's tough stuff. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you to the parents for making the Haigh community so wonderful, and the staff for maintaining everything and all the traditions throughout this year. So thank you, Mrs. Neto, for everything you've done, and to all your students and families. This was remarkable, truly remarkable. Great way to wrap it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.